Well, good morning and welcome to the show. Jeff Beals here at your service. Thank you for joining us. This is the only show in the Omaha area that talks about the growth and development of your favorite city. I want to thank our sponsors. They are, as always, Cheer Athletics, nation's #1 all-star cheer gym, located near Highways 50 and 370 in beautiful Papillion, along with Dingman's Collision Center with 4 metro area locations. My co-host, Trenton Magid, has the weekend off, but in his stead, we have one of our colleagues, one of our outstanding brokers from NAI, NP Dodge Commercial Real Estate, Brian Thomas. Brian, welcome to the show.
Hey, it is always good to be here with you, Jeff.
It's been a while since you've guest hosted.
It has. I mean, I'm proud to say that I did call Trenton yesterday. He made me practice today's episode in front of him, on the telephone.
So he said something like, all right, tell me what you're going to say.
Yeah, he was quite concerned, actually. But we can't say where he's at, but I'll just say he's in like a fun place right now. But I think I've done exactly like 1% of all the Grow Omaha episodes now.
That's actually pretty impressive when you consider we've been on the air for 21 and a half years.
Yeah, so I was telling my wife that this morning, having a cup of coffee.
Well, I do have some good news. It is one of those weeks where we have a Grow Omaha Eats restaurant review, written as always by our friend Chris Corey, our reviewer. And this week, Chris takes a look at Izzy's Pizza. Now, this is the place that came to Omaha from Las Vegas. They moved here, and they had this pizza bus in Las Vegas. Not a food truck, it was a food bus, and it was very, very popular there. So they moved here. Some people in Vegas were devastated when it happened. But
pretty much the Cirque du Soleil cast, I think, probably collectively shared a tear when they left.
I bet after the show, they probably swung by the bus and picked up some pizza.
We were happy here, though.
Gosh, are we ever? This stuff is so good. But they now dropped the bus, but they have a brick and mortar location. The address is 522 South 24th Street. So if you're in downtown Omaha, just a little bit south of Farnham, it's right by one of those really cool new apartment buildings that were completed in downtown lately. So you might want to check it out if you've never had Izzy's Pizza. But you can read about it and every one of our Grow Omaha Eats restaurant reviews by Chris Corey simply by going to growomaha.com, clicking on reviews on the navigation bar, and they're all right there. And we want to thank All Makes Office Equipment and Technology for being our sponsor. All Makes is a legend here in the Omaha business community, located, interestingly enough, not that far from Izzy's Pizza. All Makes is at 25th and Farnham. They also have locations.
Coincidence? I think not.
No, well, they were there first, so Izzy's probably chose the neighborhood because of All Makes. Yeah. And in addition to the flagship store in Omaha, All Makes also has locations in Lincoln, Des Moines, Iowa, and several other places. All right, Brian, let's talk about something really important, and that is the thing that goes better with pizza than just about anything else, and that is
definitely beer. So my wife and I and some other friends of ours last night had the unique opportunity to pop over to the new Big Grove Brewing, which just actually opened the other day. And let me tell you, it is amazing. As a person that frequents a lot of our breweries and tap rooms and tap houses like around the metro, we were very excited to see this one open because it's wholly unique in that, number one, it is super large in there. I mean, tons of seating, really cool, like round oval type bars, private rooms. But I'll give a shout out to the brewmasters and to the owners. We did the European Study Hall beer. So if you're listening and you're looking for like a good darker beer that's very good, the IPAs were rock solid, and then their Hefeweizen was just top notch. So if you are into beer, and we all are into beer, I like to assume.
I am.
Yeah, so I would encourage everybody to rush out and check out Big Grove. It's very good.
It's located inside the new Catalyst building on the west side of the University of Nebraska Medical Center campus. That's the building that at one time was the old steel mill, built, I think, in the early 1900s. And in addition to Big Grove Brewery, most of the building is for the Med Center, a lot of their technology transfer, their cutting-edge stuff.
It's a cool vibe in there.
Yeah.
I will say one thing on Izzy's is they have the notable fame of being nationally on television with diners, drive-ins, and dives with Guy Fieri. I mean, along with Block 16 and a couple of our other great restaurants down in the Midtown, downtown area. But Izzy's was like one of their focus I think it was like not even a year ago. They're very good. Izzy's is really good Detroit style pizza.
Well, let's go into our news of the week, which is brought to you by our friends at Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com. If you are looking to buy a new house, one of the first steps is to get a hold of Holly Schneiderwind or one of her team of mortgage brokers at Eagle Mortgage. They can help you, whether you're going to go conventional loan, FHA, VA, they do it all. The nice thing about Eagle Mortgage is they're not a bank. They actually shop the banks on your behalf, trying to find the best loan for you and your unique situation. Talk to Eagle Mortgage. They'll take good care of you. You can see them in person at the Eagle Mortgage office at 114th and Dodge or online at eaglemortgagecompany.com. All right, we got a lot of news items this week. This is really exciting because it's more trails, it's more alternative transportation, and it's a way to revive part of the north side. The Papio, Missouri NRD celebrated the completion of the Beltline Trailhead this week at 1421 Military Avenue. That's really right by kind of Military Avenue and Hamilton in North O. We've reported on the fact that it's been under construction for a while, but also right there next to it is a 28-home townhome development at 40th and Franklin led by Holy Name Housing. And then also the redevelopment of the Johnson Sash and Door historic building right next to this trailhead. That's an in-common housing development project right there in that area. So Brian, that's an area that has a lot of potential if people have ever been there with historic buildings, but has been neglected for a while. Good to see this happening, and also a lot of good connectivity.
Well, definitely good to have that. As someone who does a lot of biking around the metro, you can. Well, I live over in Papillion, but it's so easy to jump on trails, and now that we have that open, I just think it further connects, the trail system, the city to different, user groups that might not necessarily live in that area but love to ride. And I believe that they're going to be adding some other offerings along with that for riders and walkers.
Yeah, so encouraging move there on the north side. And then if we go downtown, we've got some encouraging news at 8th and Douglas Street.
Oh, this is great, yeah.
That is where the Omaha Children's Museum will build its 4-story building. There's also going to be about a 16, 17-story apartment building developed by New Style Development called The Beam. And then the news is a city-owned parking garage will be the third building in that area, and it will soon go vertical based on a recent building permit going through the city planning department. The garage will be 4 stories with ground floor retail. I did not know that until just recently. So the garage, the Children's Museum, and the Beam all moving forward. If you've been in that 8th and Douglas Street area lately, it's been all torn up. Partly that is some sewer work to accommodate these new buildings, and also some utility work for the streetcar, which will actually have a stop right there. So Brian, that whole area, and I should say, technically there's a 4th building in the area. The vehicle maintenance facility is under construction.
Yeah, it's going to be, once that is realized, and certainly we're going to talk about it later in the show, so no like spoilers or anything, but when you start looking at as they wrap up phase 1 construction and get into phase 2, it's exciting to think like what that is going to be here in the next couple of years.
Also downtown, we've got some progress on the Mueller, which is a $10 million 4-story apartment building under construction at 2226 Howard Street, which means it's only a block or less than a block away from Izzy's Pizza. But this building will occupy just a 1/4-acre site. We'll have 34 apartment units, 27 1-bedroom, 7 2-bedroom. Completion is planned for next year. The Mueller is part of a very dense little pocket there. Recently completed 5-story building is right there. A lot of historic renovations. Earlier this year, you may have caught the show in which Brian and Lee Mueller, the developers of that building, were with us. They're the couple that moved from Boston, loves Omaha, and plan to do all sorts of things here. So that's coming along nicely.
Well, and I think we talked about it last week with the barometer report, but one of the areas that we really have to continue to think about and improve on is, various styles of housing, mixed use, mixed income. And I feel like, at least with the Mueller family, like they're really trying to get after that.
Going a little bit further west, we go out to the Blackstone area, and that is where the former WOWT television building, 35th and Farnham, is now completely gone. In its place will be the 5-story Blackstone building. Plans call for actually, the Blackstone Plaza building is the 15-story building where Kiewit used to be. It's famous for having Warren Buffett's office. But plans call for a $45 million 5-story multi-family building with 180 apartment units. Construction on that should start soon, and that's coming along really nicely. More and more exciting construction along the streetcar line. And as Brian teased a moment ago, in our third segment today, we're going to dig into what's going on with businesses that are kind of have to suffering through the construction of the streetcar on that Farnham Street corridor and elsewhere, and that'll be a really interesting conversation you don't want to miss. But before we get to that, some exciting news. The eyesore vacant building on the southeast corner of 72nd and Farnham Street, which interestingly enough caught on fire within the last week or so, is now coming down. If I drove by today, construction or deconstruction is in full
demolition.
force. Yeah, demolition.
Knock that sucker down.
It's being raised.
It is, yeah.
Brad Williams took a really cool photograph of it yesterday because the demo started earlier this week. You can see that photo on any of the Grow Omaha social media pages. So I just put it up this morning, Facebook, LinkedIn, and X. But Brian, it's good to see that momentum going down south on 72nd Street from Dodge.
Yeah, I mean, once again, not trying to like tease out too much of our next segment, but when you start thinking about like cities like Kansas City and things like what they really did to revitalize the urban core and like really put a heft of resources and a lot of, thought and a lot of, I don't know, just a whole lot of, behind totally taking what used to be, in this case, like, God, that building was terrible. But to be able to demo it, build something back that's going to be useful to the community, useful to the urban core is like, makes me as a resident here pretty excited.
Well, and a little more detail about that space. It is controlled by Rocket Car Wash. It's our understanding that they still do intend to build something there. The problem is it's a very challenging site. It's long, it's narrow.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
There's a retaining wall.
I don't know. I don't see it, but we'll see what they end up coming up with. But I have a hard time seeing it.
The queen mother of retaining walls along the side, and
it's a multi-million-dollar retaining wall.
Yeah, so we'll have to see now. And also, just for clarification's sake, that building was scheduled to come down right now. It really has nothing to do with that fire. That fire just happened because of, well, you know what happens sometimes with vacant buildings, but it was going to come down regardless, so it's not related to that.
Yeah.
It was related to some intended redevelopment, which we hope to see. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the news of the week brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com. Going to take our first break of the hour, and when we come back, we're going to talk with two of the officers from Omaha's Commercial Real Estate Women's Chapter. They are Jenn Morris of Great Southern Bank and Sara Hanke, a commercial real estate agent with Carr Real Estate. We're going to talk a little bit about what Crew does here in Omaha. And if you have anything at all to do with the commercial real estate industry, and a lot of you do, you're going to thoroughly enjoy this interview. So stay with us. You're listening to Jeff Beals and Brian Thomas, substituting for Trenton Magid on Grow Omaha. We're brought to you by Cheer Athletics, along with Dingman's Collision Center. Back in a moment on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
All right, you guys are up. Thank you.
All right. Congratulations, too, on your, I would say, somewhat recent wedding.
Oh, yeah, last October.
Yeah.
So less than a year.
I feel like there are so many professional women in real estate that are getting married this year.
I know.
Maddie got married.
Gabby.
Yeah, Gabby got married.
Mandy.
Yeah, Mandy got married. Like, I'm like, this is just going to be the year of a lot of weddings.
Well, and I also married a commercial real estate man, Pat Norris.
Okay.
So
Who's
Pat Norris.
and what's he? What's
He
he
was
do?
with investors for a while. He's on planning board.
Oh, okay. I don't think
he
I've
works
met him.
for Nebraska Philanthropic Trust now.
Oh,
His mom is
okay.
Sue Morris, that was with.
Yeah, Sue I've met before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've had a chance to meet your husband, but I'm sure as time goes on I will.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he was at Investors?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's in the CRE world too. So
Cool. Nice.
we're just all together.
So your
Very
girls will
good.
be working with you?
Yeah, exactly.
And then Brian, I'm going to pull up, if I can find this. I have an email.
Tough and sparring yesterday.
I have coffee breath.
I think I got to pull it up.
I fought 8 times for
But
minute, 2 minutes.
yeah, Jen sent me an email. So that was you that sent the email. Okay. Let me pull that up and then we can look at that as our
I'm
outline.
well aware.
Where
By
are
the time I got to
okay.
quote
I just want
unquote
to talk
round
about
8, I was
what crew is and
done.
the upcoming events.
We were all spent out.
Okay.
As I mentioned,
So-
it's our 15th year also.
Still, though,
Okay.
good. 2 hours.
So we have this here, but
Yep.
really we'll just kind of throw some things out. It's just easy peasy conversation, talking about crew. When I tilt that microphone up, a little up.
There you go.
Yeah,
120th in center, but they back out of that
like
golf,
this.
mini golf.
From what I've heard, it sounds like
a
it was a
slight
good
injury,
idea.
so I kind of walk around
Oh,
with
yeah,
the
doing well.
Oh,
No,
Yeah, let's
Our
do it
product
like that.
placement
I don't
thing,
mean
this
that it
right
was
here.
a
'Cause
bad-
the camera's there.
And then when you
I
talk
think for
really
Izzy's,
close.
their business
And some
model, as
this
it
always
is now,
happens.
was
We
that-
always, whenever we have two people
Not
on a
that
mic,
Yeah.
we always say
bad
get
or
really
anything
close.
like that,
But
it's
there's
just-
two people, so you don't get
that
so
was-
close.
right.
Get in
We're
there.
close.
Yeah.
We're close.
Get in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll do it.
You know,
So what is an annual membership now to crew cost?
That's a great question. 310?
I think
310.
it's three.
Bad. First
You may gain one member on air today.
Oh, yay.
First active as you guys are. That's not bad.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No,
You can do
there's
sponsorship.
different
too.
types
There's
of
sponsorship levels.
Oh, okay. What's that? 5,000.
5,000. You can get 1,500.
Okay.
I think to get a membership, it's at least
hardest part of
three.
this
And then you get a
review
couple
is
memberships, like 4-year
they're
there's
companies.
different like
closed
tiers.
Yeah.
Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah. And we have
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
special sponsor only
Sunday.
party every year.
It's coming up.
Sunday, Monday, I
Super
get,
fun.
but
Very exclusive.
my-
Okay.
We appreciate
Um,
sponsors.
they must do
I've
enough
actually
business where they
spoken
don't
to
worry
a
about it so
handful
much,
of
and they
crew
know they
chapters
value
around the country.
being there for everybody.
Because my other life, I do sales training and all that.
Yeah.
And
I think it's philosophy.
usually I
It's
work
not
with
just about
companies.
making
30
Every once
seconds,
in a while,
Jeff.
You know,
groups will have me
yeah.
come do like a keynote or whatever.
I'll get you.
I've done a couple crews. Earlier this year, I did the one in northern Colorado.
We might want to have you gals like just kind of go around the corner a little bit.
Like just
If
turn
one
like
of
this
you
a
on
little bit.
camera, one of you is not going to be.
Bring the microphone. Yeah, but make sure the microphone still stays dead center.
Is that better?
We need to turn it
Yes.
on.
Oh no, Bill will take
No,
care
That's
of
why we
it.
have the
I'll
professional
take
over
care
here.
of it.
That's
All right, here we go.
Make KFAB the #1 preset on our free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good. News Radio 1110 KFAB and iHeartRadio.
And welcome back to the show. Jeff Beal sitting next to Brian Thomas of NAI NP Dodge Commercial Real Estate, who's substituting for Trenton Magid this week. Big shout out to our sponsors. They are Cheer Athletics, the nation's #1 all-star cheer gym, along with Dingman's Collision Center, Best of Omaha award winner for auto body services. They also have mechanical services too at the 120th and Maple location. Well, we have with us today two representatives of the Commercial Real Estate Women chapter here in Omaha. They are Jenn Morris of Great Southern Bank, who is the chapter president, and Sara Hanke, a commercial real estate broker with Carr. She is a special events chair. Jenn and Sara, welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having
Yes,
us.
thank you. We're excited to be here.
Well, we're excited to have you here. Omaha has a very strong crew chapter, and I know because I've had the chance to speak to a handful of crew chapters around the country, and you guys do a very good job. But you did something recently that, to be quite honest, made me question the Omaha crew chapter, and that is you admitted a new member who's not only a guy, but he's Trenton Magid. Now, how on earth did Trenton Magid get into commercial real estate women?
He's been begging, and finally this year we let him in. No, we're happy to have him, and all are welcome, men and women. It's not exclusively women, but he's a great addition to the Crew Omaha chapter.
So tell us a little bit. I guess we'll start with the 30,000-foot view. What exactly is commercial real estate women, and what do you guys do as a chapter?
Yeah, so we are essentially a networking organization. Our whole mission is to improve the women in commercial real estate and help them with their careers. So we offer networking and different events to do leadership training and really just provide a community for women in what has previously been a really male-dominated space.
Yeah, can you kind of speak to, how large has the organization become since you guys coming on board?
Yeah, so we are 15 years old this year. So we've been around for a while now, which is amazing. And we've grown to over 200 members. So
Oh, wow, that is a healthy
Yeah.
chapter.
I know I've worked in commercial real estate here in Omaha for more than 25 years now, and I've noticed a big difference because you said something like what has traditionally been a male-dominated business. When I first got into the industry, I mean, from the perspective of brokers, it was probably at least 90% men.
Yeah.
Maybe a lot more than that, if I remember. That's definitely changed. I mean, it's still, my guess is there's still more men involved in development and brokerage, but I do know a lot of women and a lot of women who have significant leadership positions in this profession.
And Jeff, I think it's probably noteworthy, and you guys can talk to it, but I mean, it is really an ecosystem that you've created with Crew because it's not just commercial real estate brokers. I mean, you really are represented by a wide, varying range of industries, correct?
Yes, really anyone that is related to commercial real estate is part of our group. So that could be engineers, architects, construction, brokerage, obviously. But there's other aspects that go into a commercial real estate deal, and we welcome those people as well.
Awesome. And you guys are super active in doing events too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you want to talk about our
That's
events?
my
Yeah.
world. Yeah, so last week we just had our annual Art of the Deal, where that one actually is open to non-members as well, and we had a great turnout for that. It allows us to dig deep into focus on a certain aspect of a commercial real estate deal, and we change up what the topic is every year, and this was about RFPs, or requests for proposals, and what goes into all of that. Super interesting. And then we have some other things coming up. We'd like to balance between, networking, education, getting behind the scenes with new developments. But coming up, we have our annual marketplace, which this year we're going to get Ollie the Trolley and go around to a handful of local women-owned businesses and support them and have a lot of fun while doing that.
And you kind of somewhat alluded to it, but you're super active on college campuses too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so actually on October 1st, a group of us are going to be going down to UNO and speaking to a couple of students and doing a panel to really talk about all of the different jobs you can have in commercial real estate. And then kind of going back to what we were just talking about, I think that's how we've done a good job of growing in the industry as well, is getting these young women out of college. We offer scholarships through the Crew National Organization and just giving them an idea of what their career path could look like.
Yeah, I know. At least I'll speak with NAI and a couple of the other local brokerages on the commercial side is a lot of our young, hungry, new driven agents, number one, are women. And number two, come from these colleges that, either did some kind of apprenticeship, and being able to marry that up with a professional organization, I think is a pretty powerful combination.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And then Crew Network offers scholarships around the country to women from Stanford and MIT. And actually, UNO's real estate program has received scholarships to women for, I think, 3 out of the past 5 years through Crew Omaha supporting them.
So, if somebody were interested in becoming a member of Crew, and they were trying to wonder, like, what are you guys all about? Kind of like, what's your purpose? I think like Malcolm Gladwell would say something like, what's your why?
Yeah, our purpose and why is to really grow grow women in commercial real estate in Omaha and nationally, and to really provide a community and safe space to, bounce ideas off each other and, really kind of trust each other and learn how to work through deals and
feel supported and have someone to reach out to when you need help.
Well, let's say we have a listener out there who works in some profession related to commercial real estate, and she might want to get involved, or even a fellow like Trenton Magid who wants to get involved in commercial real estate women. How do people go about doing that?
Yeah, so we have a website. It's omaha.crewnetwork.org, and you can look at our special events on that website and register to join and look at all of the dues and sponsorship opportunities.
Well, I guess I'll have good news. I think you just gained a new member today, so
awesome.
I'm
Welcome.
going to be checking. I will be going and checking out and signing up to become a member of Crew.
Yeah, it is a great organization, and there have been several times over the years where Trenton and I have had the chance to come to one of the lunch meetings and talk a little bit about Grow Omaha happenings, and we always really enjoyed that. And I will say, as a guy who works in and around commercial real estate in Omaha, I also really appreciate everything you're doing with those students at Creighton and UNO and UNL and other colleges too. So thank you for your contributions to the community and to the industry, and thanks also to the two of you for joining us this morning.
Yeah, thank you, ladies.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much.
So that is Jenn Morris of Great Southern Bank, Crew Chapter President, along with Sara Hanke, from Carr Real Estate Special Events Chair. We're going to take our middle of the hour break for the news. And when we come back, Brian and I will have your commercial real estate development spotlight brought to you by Noddle Companies. We're going to talk about a project happening in Papillion there. We have a special deal that Brian was involved in, and we're also going to talk about how businesses are surviving during streetcar construction. So much to come. Stay with us. You're listening to Grow Omaha, brought to you by Cheer Athletics, along with Dingman's Collision Center on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
Good job. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, hopefully that'll get a few people in addition to Brian to sign up. So
thanks for calling up the website. That was smart.
Yeah. Well, I wrote it down because I'm like, what is our website?
I don't have a crew.
Yeah.
I have no idea
Omaha.
either. It's just saved on my browser.
You just gotta do just put it in the Goog.
Yeah.
I remember when you guys
ChatGPT.
first got started in Omaha. It was a long time ago, and
Like Nancy Johnson, Jackie Pepke.
Nancy and Jackie were involved, and when it was still a very new organization, was the first time I was asked to come do the Grow Omaha overview.
Oh, cool.
And you guys were able to meet in the little side room at Pasta Amore.
Yes, somebody was just telling me about that.
Yeah, and
Now we don't fit anywhere.
there was maybe, including me, 18 people there. It was a great group. I knew almost everyone in the group. Great group. But now the last time we went to, Trent and I talked, it was like filled up some room at the UNO
Scott Conference
and the
Center.
Scott Conference Center. And shoot, there were
It's getting
probably
harder to have the
100 people
luncheons
in
because we
there.
got to have a place that can see us all,
Yeah.
Well, now we have
It's a good
events
problem.
and I don't know everybody there, and I'm like,
this last
Yeah.
part of the deal, I was like, I don't know half of the people that are here. I mean, it was open to non-members, but
Yeah.
it's a good thing though.
That is cool. Yeah. So you guys are doing things right.
I think we got a member for that actually. I invited her and then she's like,
I talked to her. Yeah. The banker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian Ray is her husband. In commercial real estate.
Oh, I don't know her.
Do you know Shasta Ray? Shasta Ray.
I don't think so, Brian.
Yeah.
But
She's a lender.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
I
his
don't
wife.
believe so.
I never made the connection before.
Yeah.
I've been talking to a lot of former BMO people that have
That have gone
places.
Yeah.
Do you guys do the full portfolio of lending at Great Southern? Like, do you do SBA lending or is it SBA lending?
We do. I don't really, out of my office, I really focus on construction lending.
Okay.
And then I actually, for the bank, buy tax credits.
Okay.
So
Oh,
buy
really?
tech deals
Oh,
kind of
okay.
regionally.
Gotcha. Okay.
How long have you been with the bank?
Almost 13 years.
Oh, okay.
It's the only bank I've ever worked for.
Okay.
is
So
crazy.
before that, you were college? Or,
Yeah, and I actually got my degree in actuarial science. So
Oh,
I
no
worked in
kidding.
She's
insurance
wicked smart.
a little bit. And I was like, I don't like this.
Did you ever work in it at all?
For like a year and a half.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for
okay.
emeritus.
Okay.
Yeah.
My wife for about 9 months worked for an insurance company here in Omaha. In actual, she's not an actuary. She has a county degree and an MBA, but for some reason she got, this was a long time ago, she got a job with one of the big insurance companies in their actuary department. It just wasn't for her.
You're just crunching numbers all day, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, But like, honestly, one of my best friend's husband is an actuary, but he has a great personality too.
Yeah.
And so he's like high up at Mutual because,
You
it's
talk
one of
to
those
people.
things he can like dumb it down. We're like, they're so smart.
If you're that person, you end up being CEO.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah.
run the insurance company.
100%.
Yeah.
Because they're frankly that rare.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah.
I always joke I'm the personality hire. When we were doing the presentation this week, we could not get our PowerPoint to work, and I was like, someone else, I can't do this.
Like, I'm just here.
I
don't
didn't create
forget.
it. Yes, I'm asking the questions. Yeah. But it's a good group.
And
so.
you guys are welcome to hang out for the rest of the show if you want cheap entertainment, but if you have to go, that's understandable too. So it's whatever you feel like
Okay.
doing.
What do you want to do?
Probably
Go.
just
Yeah,
because
you
I
guys
can't
go.
sit still this long and be quiet. So for your benefit, but thank you for having
Yes,
us.
Well,
it's
thank
been
you
a
for-
lot
thank
of
you for
fun.
joining
nice
us.
to meet
Yeah.
you guys too.
Jen, it was good to meet you.
Yeah.
Sarah, always
Good
good
to
to
see
see you.
you.
Yeah.
We'll see you around.
I was going to ask you, like,
Thank you guys so much.
I still think of you at Learner. And
Yeah, I've been with Carl almost 2 years now.
I saw that when I looked up your LinkedIn this morning.
Yeah.
What is Carl?
So we are tenant and buyer reps only, focused on healthcare and
Okay.
real estate. So
It's
we work with a lot
headquartered
of
somewhere else, and are you like the Nebraska person?
Exactly.
Okay.
We're all remote, so we're in every
Okay.
state. I'm in Nebraska and Iowa right now.
Okay.
We are hiring. But we're based in Colorado. That's our headquarters.
Okay.
But because we're all remote, it's like super involved in training and all that stuff. But it's a different approach, different focus, and really like it.
She's
Did they find you or did you find them?
Okay.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congrats.
I wasn't. It wasn't on my radar. I never heard of them. I was like, it's this fly by night thing,
Thank you.
and it's been a wonderful experience. So
Yeah.
we hope healthcare.
Good job, Michelle.
There's a lot of doctors, dentists, chiropractors, vets, all that.
Okay, because literally this morning I go to breakfast really early on Saturday and prep for the show, and I was like, what is cars?
Spread the word.
I was doing a little.
I am card. Yeah.
I am.
Car is Sara.
Yes.
All right, you
Thanks
guys
again
have a
for
wonderful
having us.
Yeah.
That was
weekend.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Take care.
Yep.
So we'll do.
That's a good segment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think when you do those, when you feature the organizations and the companies, and I think as long as you keep it lively, people that don't even have anything to do with that topic will still like it. Because
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
it's quick, it's lively, they learn something, and it's good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Like the Omaha version of Sesame Street, kind of, where you learn something new. Or
I was saying, where are you going to go with this, Chris?
I was trying to be positive.
That Sesame Street, didn't they just lose an original cast member recently? Did I?
Oh, I didn't hear
Earlier
that.
this year or something?
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me given the length of time.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm 56 and I watched it as a little kid, so it's been around a while.
Let me ask ChatGPT.
Yeah.
How long has Sesame Street been on air?
67.
Sesame Street was released on November 10th, 1969.
The year I was born. I grew up with it.
So did I.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but you were like way younger than that. You're like not even 50.
That much.
You're still 40.
I'll be 50 in December.
Yeah, you're still 49. You're still just a kid.
Oh yeah, you
And
gotta
Brian,
hold on loosely. Don't let go.
You're only like 45. Or
Hang on as long as
44
you
or
can,
something
right?
like that, aren't you?
I'm 47, married to a 27-year-old.
Yeah, I like how you worked that in
No,
there.
not the 47, 57. How old
Yeah.
are you?
What's that?
30 seconds.
Okay.
I'm 47.
47. Okay.
But yeah, he had to work because he knows she's going to watch Uncut, so he had to work that in there. To
That's
make
right.
sure.
See.
My wife is perpetually 27.
Yeah, my wife isn't looks like she has not aged. I cannot say the same.
Oh, me either.
Although you
Yeah.
still have very dark hair, Chris.
You do, yeah. Do you use Just for Men?
Oh, I knew that question was coming.
No. Although I heard recently if you
All right, here we go,
rosemary
boys.
oil in your hair, it helps it grow back.
Keeps it.
Oh,
Oh,
fine.
okay.
Okay.
Good tip. Pro tip.
I don't know if it's good or not.
Really want to know what's happening in Washington? Then don't miss Verdict with Ted Cruz. Tomorrow night at 8, right here on News Radio 1110.
And welcome back to the show. I want to thank our sponsors. They are Dingman's Collision Center with 4 metro area locations, along with Cheer Athletics, the nation's #1 all-star cheer gym. My name is Jeff Beals. I am sitting here with Brian Thomas, who is one of our brokers at NAI NP Dodge. He is kind enough to substitute for Trenton Magid, who is taking the weekend off. And it is time for your Noddle Companies Commercial Real Estate Development Spotlight of the Week, brought to you by Noddle Companies. We love Noddle Companies because not only do they do amazing developments here in Omaha, like Exarban Village and the Builders District downtown, not only do they build cool corporate headquarters buildings like Valmont's World Headquarters and HDR's World Headquarters here in Omaha, they're also really good to the community. They take care of this place. If you go to a function, there's a good chance that Noddle Companies is involved. And Jay and his team there just really are committed to Omaha, so we appreciate that. During this segment, we always talk about things happening in or near one of the Noddle Companies' many developments around town. And today we go to Steel Ridge. Steel Ridge. I love that name. It's a mixed use but heavily industrial area on both sides of Highway 370 at the Interstate 80 exit in Papillion. And the news of this week's Noddle Companies report comes from there. Omaha Steaks broke ground this week on a $20 million product safety facility that'll use cold pasteurization technology to ensure the safety of its ground beef and other protein products. The 40,000 square foot building will be constructed adjacent to Omaha Steaks' current fulfillment center right there in the Steel Ridge development, southeast corner of the Interstate and Highway 370. The center is expected to be operational by June of 2027, so it'll take a while. It's pretty complex. And it'll be the first of its kind in America. Brian, last week on the show, we talked about how we were a little bit concerned about Omaha losing some jobs to some competing cities because we've got a little bit laxed on business incentives lately. But kudos to Noddle Companies and Omaha Steaks for doing their part.
Well, I mean, both of those companies are really truthfully titans in our metropolitan area. Omaha Steaks themselves are so, philanthropic and generous. They just donated thousands of pounds of meat to one of our local food banks. They're super involved in the community, and to have them partner with Noddle to be able to create this kind of one-of-a-kind, unique facility in our metro. And to your point, I mean, I just remember a handful of years ago where that was just pasture-filled. Like when you would drive like on Highway 370 headed down to the I-80 interchange right there, like it is like there just wasn't anything there. And now when you look at it, I mean, Still Ridge South and Still Ridge North are almost fully built out.
Yeah, a lot of jobs and a lot of economic activity that happened there. And that is your Noddle Companies Commercial Real Estate Spotlight of the Week. You can learn more about Noddle Companies by going simply enough to their website, noddlecompanies.com. Hey, Brian, since you're on the show and you're a real estate broker, we're going to actually break a little news here today about a deal you recently did, a new occupant for a former Cobalt Credit Union building. Tell us about that a little bit.
Yeah, so former Cobalt Credit Union building in Bellevue, Nebraska, which, I will say that for those who are unaware, I mean, the city of Bellevue is certainly making an active push through their Chamber of Commerce, led by Diane Bruce, who's the president of the chamber there, as well as their economic development team, Harrison Johnson and crew, including Mayor Hike. But yes, we'd been asked to come in and basically trying to get what was almost nearly a completely vacant building, which used to be the Cobalt Credit Union building, former Lutheran Family Services occupied. Working with Jess Esch, who is a fantastic broker here in the metro, we were able to consolidate Visiting Angels, which is a in-home senior, healthcare focused agency along with adults with disabilities, which is a personal, cause to my heart because of the fact that, as I'm sure all our listeners will know, getting healthcare for your aging parents or your grandparents is really challenging. But to have a company, like Visiting Angels come into that, consolidate in the market, be able to expand their capacity, which was part of them going into that building, increase caregivers that are going to go into the homes of people that live in the metro that have, that need of service, just really both personally and professionally really made me feel good.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a nice deal and an even cool story as well. Well, we're going to spend the rest of this segment talking about streetcar construction and its impact on local businesses. Regular readers of our newsletter or of the news on growomaha.com know that we have a lot of people who write for us. We have 14 contributors here on Grow Omaha. And one of them is Eric Miller. He is the streetcar operations manager for the city of Omaha, longtime expert in transportation planning. And we are so fortunate to have Eric as someone who writes for us because nobody knows what's going on with the streetcar as much as Eric does. So he has a regular column on growomaha.com. And the most recent one, he writes about the effects of streetcar construction on business. And he makes a very interesting point. He says the very thing that makes streetcars so beneficial to their neighborhoods, which is how they're intimately integrated. That's why they're such a good transportation system for urban pockets because they integrate so intimately with the neighborhood and the buildings there. That very thing makes the construction of them highly disruptive to businesses that are already there. And it's one of those cases where you've got some immediate pain for long-term gain. The problem is it takes several years to build a streetcar system. Right now we're doing the infrastructure underneath the street, then you got to build the tracks, you got to build the stations, the power sources, everything. It's a big deal. And so in this column, Eric looks at two systems that are just about to open. One of them is the extension in Kansas City, and the other one is Santa Ana in Orange County, California. Yeah. Now, the Santa Ana one took a long time, and we all know that the state of California has all of these obnoxious regulations, and that has caused it to be predictably delayed, all sorts of stuff that makes it so hard to build things in California. But they have a plan, because it took so long, where they're doing some business grants very similar to the Greater Omaha Chamber's business resiliency grants for the Omaha streetcar line. And then he talks about the Kansas City line, Brian. And in Kansas City, they're more than doubling. They built their original system back in 2014. It's done so well that they're more than doubling it. And he talks a lot about how they're working with their businesses. What's helpful with the extension, when they did their first one, it was very urban like Omaha's is. Their extension is not quite as urban, and they're trying to use it to create more urbanity and density along that extension. So it hasn't been as disruptive. Here in Omaha, we've got the plan that the Chamber recently announced to provide some grants for people, but there's no doubt about it, even though it's going to cause a lot of businesses to make a lot more money and have a lot of those businesses to exist in the future, new ones, it's hard for the short term.
It really is hard for the short term, and I certainly would never want to marginalize the concerns of our great business owners that are going to be along the streetcar because, I would say while the city of Omaha and the Streetcar Authority has tried to do a really good job of not completely shutting down the streets to allow pedestrian traffic. They've even invested in some like signage and marketing and things like that. I mean, there's just no doubt that, foot traffic is down. I found an interesting thing that in the article that it talked about, and once again, as a person who's used the streetcar in Kansas City, I can tell you it is great. But, 10 years after, like I think everybody understands that this is an investment in the long term. Population density in that urban core in Kansas City increased by like 44%, right? Some of these businesses saw record profits, over 60% return, in terms of margin expansion and things like that. But, certainly having, represented businesses that are on the streetcar line, I know that many of them are very curious to say, okay, how's this grant going to work? Is it going to be this long bureaucratic process? Which I have faith, having listened to the mayor and Streetcar Authority, that they're really trying to streamline that approval process. Absolutely.
And just for a little bit of perspective, Eric mentions in his article that since 2014, more than $4 billion of new development projects have been completed along the original Kansas City streetcar line, with another $1.2 billion already under construction. Here in Omaha, ours isn't even open yet, but we already have, related to the streetcar, more than half, about 2/3 of what we need in order for our unique financing system to pay for it. And we've got another 15 years to make that happen. So we're in great shape. The other thing, you mentioned the growth of residents in the area, Brian. Vendors along the Kansas City streetcar line have noted a 20% increase in sales the first year after it opened. So we need to hang in there. And if you care about the businesses that are located along that route, Farnham, Harney Street corridor, frequent those businesses. They could use you in the short term.
Well, I'll tell you, a couple of years ago, my wife and I and some friends went down to Kansas City for the draft. We stayed downtown, and I just simply don't believe that a city can pull off an event of that magnitude without having this type of infrastructure from a public transport. So it gets me excited when I think about a lot of the entertainment options and things that could be in the future potentially hosted in Omaha, because you have this robust, transit system to be able to get people, ideally someday from the airport all the way down to where they need to go, and they don't even have to jump on, kind of like how Minneapolis is.
Yeah, very exciting things in our future. This is only the beginning of how much better transportation will get in our city. And we're coming up to the end, so it's time for the moment you've all been waiting for, the Perkins Kreitzer Construction Lightning Round, which we talk about a lot of things very fast. Stay with us. That's coming up next on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
Going well. Yeah, get fast. So we'll start with Toys R Us.
Okay.
And then I do want to make sure I get the Starbucks closures.
Did you know about this Toys R Us before I sent that to you?
Yeah,
You did?
yeah. Because remember the article we did on the Dillards, and I said mystery retailer. I knew exactly.
Damn, I thought I was giving you a scoop.
No, I had. I hope he doesn't mind me saying this, but I have lunch with periodically go have lunch with the general manager of the Westroads, who is an awesome guy. If you're listening, Ryan, you are an awesome guy. So we talked about that there, and you said I couldn't announce it yet because there was still I think there was a rubber stamp that still needed to happen. It was a done deal, but it still had to be rubber stamped by one key entity. And they got that, and now they're good to go. But that's one of the first ones in the country. It'll be one of the first ones in the country.
I'm excited to see them come back. I was kind of sad.
It's kind of like Barnes and Nobles.
It's
If
gonna
you
be
think about it.
Yeah.
Oh, Barnes and Noble is coming back. In fact, if I were in charge of the Westroads, and if I had a significant vacancy coming up, I would go after Barnes and Noble hard because they are thriving in malls.
Well, I mean, they're thriving in Papillion in Shadow Lake where I
Oh
live.
God, yeah, I love Barnes and Noble.
Yeah, I just went in there.
Going to Barnes.
Actually, it started when I need just a place to work.
Yeah.
I just pop in there. They've got a little coffee shop.
Yeah.
Sit down, read a book. Like,
There is something about if you're in a place where there are books, even if you're working on your laptop, just the presence of books psychologically is good for my productivity. And then if you can smell coffee brewing,
I mean, just the smell of books.
I get so much done. I love.
Yeah.
But no, I don't have very much free time in my life, but if I get some, I love nothing more than going to Barnes Noble, taking an hour, and I pull business books out and read a chapter or whatever. They don't pay for them and then go home.
Mm-hmm.
I don't shoplift them, but
You'll have 5 minutes.
I just read for free. Thank you, Bill. Yep. And you'll give me the countdown to music.
Countdown to music.
Okay.
And then once we do that, we'll do a 10-second countdown in the final 10 seconds.
Okay.
And I won't do this anymore to confuse you.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Remind me after the show to tell you something interesting, Chris.
Okay.
Okay.
Sean Callahan inviting you to join me for the Husker Online show this and every Friday night during the football season from 6 to 7 right here on Big Red Radio 1110 KFB.
And welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center, along with Cheer Athletics. Another sponsor is Perkins Kreitzer Construction, and they bring you the lightning round. We've got a lot of quick little announcements about retail and restaurant coming up. Perkins Kreitzer Construction makes this possible. They are under the steady hand of leadership of one Dave Kreitzer, good friend of the show. And Dave and his team are so experienced. They've got project managers, superintendents, carpenters, you name it, all sorts of people. Many of these folks have been in the industry for 30 years. Perkins Kreitzer Construction does outstanding projects on budget, on time. You can use Perkins Kreitzer Construction for your project anywhere in this KFAB listening area. Out to North Platte, into Western Iowa, up to the Sioux City area. They really, really can do it all. Whether you're doing a built from the ground up structure or you're renovating, building out existing space, Perkins Kreitzer Construction will take care of you. All right, let's get into it. Brian, we now know who the mystery 31,000 square foot retailer is who will be taking the former Forever 21 space, which is in the basement, plus a little bit of the first floor space, two-story store. It is going to be
Toys R Us.
Tell us about that.
Which is absolutely amazing for someone of our generation who grew up in malls. And we were talking before the show in that, to have what was once, old is now new again with this whole new generation that are my kids, Gen Alpha, who are that 2010 to 2024 age group, like in this need for connection and how just talking to my own three sons that they want to hang out and they want a place to hang out. I don't think you and I have discussed it. You've always long held, at least for the 5 years, right, that malls were going to make a comeback.
They will.
And I know you know him personally, but like kudos to Westroads, like general manager, and like they're going to be like 98% occupied, which a mall in today, 2020, like what day is it? Like September 27th, 2025, that we have a indoor mall in America that is 98% occupied is noteworthy. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. I think the Westroads has a bright future. I think, like I've been saying for years, the indoor mall will stage a comeback someday. We won't have as many as we had at their peak, but people will love them when they're up and running. And Westroads will stay strong. Like you said, 98% occupancy rate. That's fascinating. A little bit of negative news. Starbucks Coffee plans to close 4 stores in Omaha. The locations are 90th and Fort, 90th and Maple, 72nd and Dodge, and 72nd and L. 3 of those 4 stores were built within the last 3 years.
Yeah, and you'll know. So, I mean, I've shared it with you, my wife and I, in terms of investing in the buildings in Starbucks, and we've got friends that, obviously own some of these buildings. It was pretty tough to see some of the, especially like 90th and Maple, to close up But I'm hopeful they'll come back to market. But hey, I'm also know that we have a great coffee scene in the Omaha Metro with a lot of smaller users and, of course, scooters. Like, we'll be all right.
Yeah, Starbucks is closing hundreds of coffee stores across the country. One other closure to tell you, Countryside Cones, really nice family-owned ice cream shop, unfortunately, is closing for good on October 25th. Wish the family that owns that the best of success. Good people. I met them when they opened. Vasa Fitness has opened 909 Fort Crook Road in Bellevue.
Once again, I mean, I kind of like trying to beat a dead horse here, but people are sleeping on Bellevue.
Yeah, Bellevue has a lot of potential.
Bellevue has really, I feel like, got everybody's rowing in the same direction. Everybody from the mayor down, city council, like they are actively trying to expand businesses in Bellevue. So look at Bellevue if you haven't.
And some people forget that it is the third biggest city in Nebraska. Hammer and Nails, an upscale hair and grooming business for men, has opened at Greyhawk Point near 144th and West Maple Road. That is the first Nebraska location. This is a national organization with locations in about 20 states, but that's the first one in either Nebraska or Iowa. And then, Brian, we've got Chateau Vin Wine and Spirit Bar coming soon to Midtown Crossing. It'll be located right next to Pa Moss in Midtown Crossing. What's cool about this, 100 global wines, a wine club, cocktail spirits, and supposedly really good food opening soon.
Excited for that.
Oh, yeah, you take me to a place where I can have wine, cocktails, and good food. I'm all over it. And finally, we have a new restaurant called Crafted Ramen, which is going in at 7425 Dodge Street. That's in the former Sakurabana place. People loved Sakurabana. It was one of Omaha's first sushi places and had a long history here, and they were upset to see it go, but we have a new company going in there, Crafted Ramen.
Yeah, as long as they have udon noodles, I'm good.
You're good. Well, the music's playing, which means we're done. Brian, thanks for substituting for Trent. You always do a great job for us.
Thanks, Jeff.
Brian Thomas from NAI NP Dodge Commercial Real Estate substituting for Trent. Hope everyone has a great week. I'm Jeff Beals. You've been listening to Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center, Cheer Athletics, and Perkins Kreitzer Construction. We'll chat with you next week at 9 right here on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
It's a wrap.
Wow,
my man. Well done.
Like a glove.
Yeah.